But there's nothing to beat the real thing. Thrashing along the main line with a real driver at the helm and 1,200 tons of real train in tow. For the crew, working a steam-hauled train is an exercise in keen concentration, hard physical effort, and coordinated teamwork.
On a steam locomotive, it doesn't quite help just pouring tons and tons of coal into the firebox. And making tons of black smoke, that just won't help. You've got to know exactly how much to put in and how little, and where to put it, and be able to read your fire and things like that, and to keep the steam at the red mark if you can. Well, people think of the mechanical stoke of just rolling the coal into the fire and the train goes, but it's not quite like that. You've got all different jets, and you've got to control it so it gives an even fire on your grates. White and bright, as they say.
Richard Niven has been happily getting his hands dirty as a fireman since he was 20. Along with fellow Britisher John Gilberthorpe, who is his regular driver, Richard drinks in the atmosphere of the steam age. He lives for the smoke and the throb of the engine's exhaust, knowing that he helped to put it there. And riding the tracks through a pristine Karoo dawn is high up on his list of fringe benefits. After hours of bucking and swaying, there's yet more work to do, preparing the engine for the return trip. Steam engines are like babies, really. Their appetite for attention is constant and voracious, and they respond to it noisily. In their personalities, power and helplessness exist endearingly side by side.
I've always loved steam engines right from being a small kid, and I always wanted to work on them, but I didn't have the opportunity in Britain. And so I thought, well, I'll come to South Africa and have a go on them. It's the last place in the world where I could really get a job on them.
These men are perhaps the most satisfied enthusiasts of all. They have much more than just the vicarious pleasure of photographs. They actually inhabit the world that so vividly fires the imagination of others.
The power and the appearance, the sound, the whole aura about them, I think. Everything that goes with them. It just sort of breathes atmosphere. It never fails to appeal to me. I'm always leaning out of the engine, listening to how she's performing. You can see the clouds of smoke and steam rolling behind. It looks terrific. It sounds terrific as well.
To the crew, a steam locomotive is not a passive machine. It sighs, breathes, and responds like a living being.
It is almost human. It eats, it drinks. The quality of the fuel that you put into it, you get the same sort of power out of it, the same as with a person. And if you look after it, it'll look after you. And you ill-treat it, and she'll do the same to you too.
To John and his colleagues, the steam locomotive is queen of her domain. A proposal that she abdicate in favour of a lowly diesel is enough to leave anyone utterly speechless.